What if I told you that there's a desire women carry deep inside, one they'll never admit, not even to their closest friends? What if you could tap into that secret fantasy and trigger it instantly without saying a word? Ever wonder what women truly desire but never say out loud? It's not what you think. It's not flowers, not compliments, and definitely not about romance movies. No, there's something much deeper, something real and primal that most people don't even know exists. Today, we're diving into the #1 female fantasy that no one talks about, and how to trigger it instantly using the timeless power of Stoicism. Before we get started, imagine what it would feel like to unlock this hidden desire, to truly understand what women crave at their core. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Presence over words. The first step to understanding this fantasy is realizing presence is far more powerful than words. You see, women aren't looking for someone who talks a lot. Words, no matter how clever or sweet, don't make her feel seen. What she wants is your presence, the kind that's calm, grounded, and unshakable. It's not about saying the right things, it's about being in the moment. Stoicism teaches us that true power lies in our ability to remain calm, no matter the situation. When you can be present and calm, you become magnetic. That's what triggers her deepest desire, a man who isn't swayed by external chaos. Lesson 2. The power of silence. Stoics are known for their ability to stay silent in the face of pressure, and this is exactly what women secretly crave. Silence isn't awkward, it's powerful. When you sit in silence and you don't feel the need to fill the space with chatter, it creates a tension that speaks louder than words. This tension is what makes her body respond before her mind even knows why. So, next time you're with her, try not to say a word, just be. Let her fill the silence with her thoughts and feelings. You'll be amazed at how it pulls her closer. Lesson 3. Quiet confidence, not arrogance. Confidence is something everyone notices, but what really stands out is the kind of confidence that doesn't need to shout. The loudest people in the room aren't always the most confident. They're often the ones who need to prove themselves. On the other hand, real confidence is quiet. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need constant reassurance from others. It's the kind that comes from within. Think about it. Have you ever been around someone who didn't need to speak much, but still commanded attention? That's the power of quiet confidence. It's about being so secure in who you are that you don't feel the need to show off or constantly tell others about it. You don't need to prove anything because you already know your worth. This kind of confidence makes you magnetic. It draws people in without you having to try. Arrogance, in contrast, is often rooted in insecurity. It's the attempt to cover up feelings of doubt by putting on a front. An arrogant person talks loudly to compensate for their lack of inner peace. They need others to see them as confident because they don't feel confident inside. True confidence, however, doesn't require any of that. When you're at peace with who you are, you don't feel the need to explain or defend yourself. You simply exist with the quiet strength of someone who knows they don't need to prove anything to anyone. And this is exactly what she secretly craves. She doesn't want someone who constantly seeks validation or approval. She wants someone who can stand firm in their beliefs and actions without needing to explain why. This kind of confidence is deeply attractive because it makes her feel safe, secure, and drawn to you in a way that goes beyond words. It's a powerful, quiet strength that resonates with the deepest parts of her. When you are confident in this way, it's not just what you say or do, it's who you are. That inner peace, that ability to just be yourself, is what triggers her fantasy. It's something rare, something that doesn't need to be explained, and it's exactly what she's waiting for. Lesson 4. Emotional control is the key. Emotional control is one of the most important qualities you can develop, yet it's something many people struggle with. When things don't go according to plan, or when faced with stress or conflict, the natural reaction for most men is to respond quickly, often letting their emotions take over. They may raise their voice, get frustrated, or try to solve everything in a rush. But the key to attraction, especially in challenging moments, is emotional control. Stoicism teaches us that we should not allow our emotions to control us. Instead, we should control our emotions. Think about a time when something went wrong in your life, or when you were put in a stressful situation. How did you respond? Did you panic, lash out, or try to control everything around you? If you did, chances are that your response was more about reacting to your emotions than actually thinking things through. On the other hand, a person who stays calm in those moments, who doesn't let anger or frustration take over, seems to have a sense of control and balance that others find incredibly attractive. This is what women crave, the ability to remain composed no matter what's happening around you. When a man stays calm in stressful situations, it sends a message that he's in control, not just of the situation, but also of himself. And this is powerful. It's a sign that you're not easily rattled and that you can handle things when they get tough. It says, "I've got this," without you needing to say a word. Now, why does this matter so much to women? It's simple. Women want to feel safe, and emotional control is a huge part of that safety. When a man is constantly reacting, overthinking, or getting upset at the smallest things, it makes her feel uncertain. She begins to question whether he can truly handle life's challenges, and if she can trust him to lead when things get tough. But when a man shows he can remain calm and composed, he instantly makes her feel secure. She knows that in a difficult situation, you won't fall apart. You'll be there, standing strong, ready to take charge. Emotional control also creates a sense of trust. Women want to feel that they can trust a man to lead, but not in a way that's harsh or overbearing. They want someone who takes charge with confidence, without shouting, panicking, or losing their cool. When a man can control his emotions, especially in stressful situations, it makes her feel like she can surrender. She doesn't have to carry the weight of everything on her own. She doesn't have to be in control all the time. She can feel safe, knowing that you are there to take care of things when needed. And that's exactly what she secretly desires. A man who can take the lead without needing to raise his voice or create unnecessary drama. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about managing your emotions and responding to situations with a clear mind. It's about staying grounded, not letting stress, anger, or fear control you. When you react impulsively, it can feel like you're out of control, and that lack of control makes everything feel uncertain. But when you can pause, take a breath, and handle the situation with confidence and calm, she will feel drawn to you in a way that's hard to explain. It's a magnetic energy that comes from knowing you have everything under control and that you don't need to react in every moment. This emotional control also helps create tension, which is another thing that drives attraction. When things are calm and composed, it allows the other person to feel like they can relax. They can trust you to take the lead, and when they trust you, they feel comfortable opening up, following your direction, and letting you take charge. And let's be honest, that's what she really wants. She wants to feel safe, to feel protected, to feel like she can surrender to someone who is stronger and more capable than anyone else. So, the next time you find yourself in a stressful situation or facing a challenge, remember that how you handle it can have a huge impact on the dynamic between you and her. If you can stay calm, collected, and in control, You'll not only make her feel safe, but you'll also trigger the deepest parts of her fantasy. You'll become the man she feels drawn to, the man she can trust, the man who's always in control, no matter what. In the end, emotional control doesn't just make you more attractive. It makes you the kind of man who inspires respect, admiration, and, most importantly, trust. When you can control your emotions, you show her that you're a man she can rely on, and that's the kind of security that makes her feel like she can give herself completely to you. Stay calm, stay in control, and watch how it transforms the way she sees you. Lesson 5. Unspoken certainty. Unspoken certainty is one of the most powerful forces in human interaction. It's the quiet confidence that doesn't need to be voiced, yet is felt by everyone in the room. It's that unique energy that tells others, without a single word, that you know exactly who you are and where you're going. It's not about making grand declarations or seeking validation from others. Instead, it's about being so sure of yourself and your purpose that you don't need anyone else's approval to move forward. Stoicism teaches us that to live a fulfilling life, we must have clarity of vision and purpose. When you have unspoken certainty, you embody a silent strength. You don't need to explain every action or second-guess yourself. You simply act, knowing that what you're doing is right. You are at ease with your choices, and because of that, you move through life with a sense of direction that others can't help but notice. This certainty is magnetic. When you walk into a room, when you interact with people, it's not your words or your actions alone that get attention. It's the confidence in your presence. Imagine this scenario. You walk into a crowded room. The people in it might not even know you yet, but they feel something shift in the atmosphere. It's like a wave of calm confidence that surrounds you. You don't hesitate or fumble for words. You don't try to prove yourself or seek validation. Instead, you stand tall, calm, and certain. There's no rush, no indecision, just clarity in every move you make. It's as if the entire room recognizes that you know exactly what you're doing. This is unspoken certainty. And this is incredibly attractive, particularly to women. They are drawn to this certainty because it's something most people, men and women alike, struggle to have. Uncertainty is the enemy of attraction. When someone is unsure of themselves, when they second-guess every decision or need constant reassurance, it creates doubt. And doubt is the last thing anyone wants when it comes to the people they rely on. Women don't want to be the ones who are constantly leading or making decisions. In the fast-paced, decision-heavy world we live in, many women find themselves in positions where they have to lead, at work, in social situations, and in other areas of life. But when they come home or meet someone new, they crave a break from that. They want someone who can take the lead, someone who knows where they're going and doesn't need to ask for permission. This is where your unspoken certainty becomes key. When you have this quiet, unwavering sense of direction, it becomes clear to her that you are the kind of person she can trust to take charge. This trust doesn't come from boasting or trying to convince her of your abilities. It comes from simply being sure of your own purpose. You don't explain it to her because you don't have to. She can see it in your actions, feel it in your presence, and hear it in the way you speak. You don't need to validate your every decision because your certainty speaks louder than any words ever could. This certainty is the foundation of true leadership. Leadership isn't about being the loudest in the room, making the most noise, or demanding attention. Real leadership is about being so grounded and clear in your actions that others naturally follow your lead. Women don't want to follow someone who is constantly wavering or unsure. They want to follow someone who knows where they're going, who can guide them without a moment of doubt. When you have unspoken certainty, you become that person, someone who is clear about his intentions and can lead without asking for permission. And here's the beauty of it. When you lead with this kind of certainty, she feels safe. Safety is incredibly attractive. It's not about control in the traditional sense of dominance or power. It's about providing a space where she can relax and let go. When she knows you won't falter, when she sees that you are calm and unwavering, it gives her the freedom to surrender. She doesn't have to lead anymore. She doesn't have to make all the decisions. She can trust you to make them for both of you. And that's when the magic happens. The essence of this is deeply rooted in the concept of polarities. The masculine is about direction, strength, and action, while the feminine is about flow, receptivity, and surrender. When you step into your masculine power with unspoken certainty, it allows her to step into her feminine energy. She can relax into the relationship, feel secure in your presence, and begin to follow your lead. The dynamic becomes effortless because both of you are aligned with your true energies. She's not looking for you to chase her approval or explain yourself every step of the way. She's looking for you to take the lead with grace and confidence so she can follow without hesitation. This is why unspoken certainty is irresistible. It's not just about knowing what you want. It's about embodying that certainty in every moment, in every action, and in every interaction. It's about showing up as the man who doesn't need to convince anyone of his value because his actions speak for him. When you walk into a room with unspoken certainty, you are the man she craves, not because of what you say or what you do, but because you are certain of who you are. So, next time you find yourself in a situation where you need to lead or make a decision, don't hesitate. Don't second-guess yourself. Move forward with clarity, with purpose, and with the knowledge that your direction is clear. She will notice, she will feel the shift in energy, and she'll be drawn to you. That's when she'll start to feel safe enough to follow your lead, to surrender, and to allow the deep connection you've both been craving to unfold naturally. Unspoken certainty isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about trusting yourself enough to know that no matter what happens, you will handle it. It's about leading with calm confidence, showing up as the person you're meant to be, and letting that certainty do all the work for you. And when you do, you'll trigger something deeper within her that she won't be able to resist. Lesson 6. The power of touch. Touch is one of the most powerful forms of communication. It's not just about physical contact, it's about the timing, intent, and energy behind it. While most people tend to think that constant physical contact is what draws someone in, the true power of touch lies in knowing when and how to use it. It's the art of restraint, and Stoicism teaches us that the greatest power often comes not from giving everything away, but from knowing when to hold back. Think about the last time you were around someone who didn't touch you constantly, but seemed to make the smallest gestures feel incredibly significant. Perhaps it was a hand on your shoulder, a light brush of the arm, or a soft touch on your back. These touches were brief, not overwhelming, but they carried a certain weight, a meaning that went beyond just physical contact. You didn't need them to keep touching you all the time, because that brief moment left an impression. That's the power of touch. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's about making the right kind of contact at the right time. Stoicism teaches us that we must exercise control over our actions and impulses, and this is where the true magic of touch comes into play. Restraint can be incredibly powerful. When you withhold something, especially something as intimate as touch, it creates tension. Tension, in turn, builds attraction. It's the space between actions, the moments when you don't give everything away right away, that makes her feel drawn to you. For example, think about how you interact with her when you're close together. When you touch her, don't overwhelm her with constant contact. Instead, let there be moments of closeness, followed by distance. A soft touch on her arm or a gentle hand on her back, then slowly pulling away, leaving just a bit of space between you. It's that space, that distance, that drives the attraction. It's the tension between the closeness and the withdrawal that keeps her mind and body wanting more. The key to making this work is in the timing and the intent behind your touch. It's not about random gestures, but about making her feel the energy and intention behind every movement. A touch can say more than 1,000 words, but only when it's done with purpose. When you touch her, you want her to feel your presence in a way that is undeniable. But when you pull away, you want her to feel the absence of your touch in a way that makes her want to close the distance and come closer. That's the magic. If you're too eager or too quick to give away everything, whether that's your touch, your attention, or your energy, you run the risk of oversaturating the interaction. You're giving away too much too soon, and it can lose its significance. The greatest attraction comes from moments of withheld touch, not from over-explaining or overdoing it. The more you can control your impulses and choose to touch her at the right moments, the more magnetic you become. Every touch will carry more weight because she knows it's not something you just give away freely. Now consider the emotional impact of touch. It goes far beyond the physical sensation of skin on skin. Touch connects people on a deep emotional level. A simple touch can make someone feel understood, safe, and cared for. But it also opens the door for vulnerability. When you choose to touch her, you allow her to feel safe enough to surrender, to allow herself to be vulnerable around you. She trusts you in that moment, not just because of what you say, but because of the way your touch makes her feel. And when you pull away, it makes her long for that connection again, and that desire for closeness grows. However, it's essential to read the room and understand how much touch is appropriate for the moment. Timing is everything. Sometimes pulling away is even more effective than leaning in. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that touch is about quantity, that the more you touch someone, the more they'll feel connected to you. In reality, it's the restraint, knowing when to touch, when to hold back, that makes the interaction feel more intense. This creates a feeling of anticipation. It's not about constantly reassuring her with physical affection. It's about leaving her wanting more. The best way to get this right is to practice patience. Don't rush the process. Let the tension build naturally. Don't force it, and don't try to control it completely. Let it flow naturally, but with intention. When you withdraw after a touch, it should feel like a natural part of the interaction, not a game or manipulation. She should feel the absence of your touch as much as she felt its presence. This dynamic creates a constant undercurrent of attraction that keeps her intrigued and drawn to you. The reason this works is simple. When you give her just enough touch to make her feel connected to you, but don't overwhelm her with it, you create space for desire. Desire thrives on the feeling of wanting something you can't have in the moment. By controlling the amount of touch you offer, you heighten her desire for more. She'll find herself thinking about you, wondering when you'll touch her again. It becomes less about the actual touch and more about the anticipation of it. This dynamic also makes you stand out from other men who may constantly seek validation through physical touch. When you're calm, controlled, and intentional with your touch, you create a sense of mystery. You're not constantly trying to prove yourself. You're not seeking her attention by bombarding her with physical gestures. Instead, you're subtly letting her feel the intensity of your presence, your touch, and your withdrawal. That subtlety is incredibly attractive. At the end of the day, the power of touch isn't about how much you touch her. It's about how you make her feel when you do. It's the intention behind the touch, the timing, and the balance between proximity and distance. Touch when it's right, pull away when it's right, and you'll keep her attention longer than if you gave her all your attention at once. The tension between the two will become a magnetic force that pulls her toward you, not just physically, but emotionally as well. Lesson 7. Let her feel your energy, not your words. Words are powerful, but there's something even more powerful that goes unnoticed by most people: the energy you bring into a room. Words can be well-crafted, clever, or full of meaning, but they can also fall flat if the energy behind them doesn't match. On the other hand, energy, your presence, your vibe, your way of carrying yourself, always speaks volumes, even when you're silent. Energy is undeniable, and it's the one thing that leaves a lasting impression on people, especially women. Think about a time when you were in the presence of someone who didn't say much, but their mere presence made you feel something deep. Maybe they didn't have to say anything at all to command respect or admiration. It was just the way they carried themselves, the way they exuded confidence and calmness, that drew you in. That's the power of energy. It's the silent force that shapes the way others perceive you, the way they feel about you. When you can make someone feel something without needing to say a single word, you've unlocked one of the most powerful and magnetic qualities a person can possess. This is what Stoicism teaches us: to be calm, centered, and unshakable in all circumstances. Stoicism isn't about pushing emotions aside or suppressing feelings. It's about maintaining control over them, no matter what's happening around you. When you are centered and at peace with yourself, your energy will naturally reflect that balance. Your energy will feel grounded, secure, and unwavering, and this will have a profound effect on how others perceive you. When you walk into a room with a calm and centered presence, you don't need to shout or make a scene to be noticed. In fact, the quieter you are, the stronger your energy becomes. It's like a ripple effect that spreads through the space, subtly but powerfully drawing people's attention. You don't have to speak loudly or brag to command respect. Your energy does the talking. And for women, this kind of presence is incredibly magnetic. The truth is, women are drawn to energy more than anything else. It's not about how clever you are with words or how many compliments you can dish out. What truly captivates her is how she feels when she's around you. Does your energy make her feel safe, intrigued, or excited? Does it make her feel like she can relax, be herself, and let go of any defenses she may have built up over time? That's the power of energy. Your words can be as perfect as you want them to be, but if your energy doesn't match, they'll fall flat. If you say all the right things, but your body language, tone, and presence don't align with those words, she'll sense it. This is because energy doesn't lie. She can tell if you're faking it, if you're pretending to be someone you're not, or if you're just trying too hard. But when your energy is authentic and aligned with who you truly are, it sends a message that is more profound than anything you could say. The key to mastering this is learning to become a man of action and quiet authority. Stoicism teaches us that the true power of a person doesn't lie in how much they say or do, but in how much they are able to remain calm, composed, and centered in all situations. When you act with confidence and purpose, without feeling the need to prove yourself, your energy becomes magnetic. It's like a force field that draws people in, not with words, but with the unspoken certainty of your presence. When you're acting from a place of calm, you're showing her that you can handle whatever life throws at you. You're showing her that you don't need to explain yourself, that you don't need validation from anyone, and that you are fully in control of your actions and emotions. This kind of energy is incredibly attractive because it makes her feel secure. She knows that you're not going to crumble under pressure and that you are strong enough to handle whatever challenges may come your way. This makes her feel safe, and safety is one of the most powerful elements that trigger attraction. Now think about the opposite. When a man is constantly seeking approval, trying to impress with his words, or getting upset over small things, his energy is scattered and uncertain. This is a huge turn-off because it feels chaotic. Women want stability, they want certainty, and they want to feel like they can trust the man they're with. They want to feel like they're with someone who has a deep sense of self and doesn't need external validation to feel whole. That's the kind of energy that draws her in, without you having to say a word. The magic happens when you stop trying to control everything and let your energy speak for you. You stop trying to impress or chase after her, and instead, you focus on being present, on being grounded and rooted in who you are. Your energy will naturally create an atmosphere where she feels comfortable, where she feels that she can let her guard down and be real with you. When you show up as the person you are, without trying to be anyone else, you'll trigger her deepest desires. And here's the most important part. This energy is contagious. When you're calm and centered, it will influence the people around you, especially her. She'll start to mirror your energy, becoming more relaxed and at ease. It's a silent exchange that doesn't require words. As her energy aligns with yours, she'll find herself drawn to you, wanting to spend more time with you, and feeling an unspoken connection that she can't explain. This is where attraction transcends the surface level. It's not about what you look like or what you say. It's about how you make her feel when she's near you. And when your energy is grounded, confident, and authentic, it will trigger her deepest desires. She'll be drawn to you not because of your words, but because of how your energy makes her feel safe, desired, and understood. So, the next time you're in a situation where you feel the urge to impress or speak to prove yourself, remember that your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. Don't try so hard to make her notice you. Let your presence, your calm, and your confidence do the talking. That's how you'll trigger her attraction and make her feel something real, something deep, and something she won't be able to ignore. Now you understand the #1 female fantasy, the one that most men will never truly tap into. This is a desire that goes far beyond what you say, how you look, or how charming you try to be. It's not about perfect words, flashy gestures, or trying to win her over with compliments or material things. The real magic lies in your inner strength, the emotional control you display, the presence you bring into a room, and the certainty with which you move through life. When you combine all of these traits, you become the kind of man she can't resist, the kind of man who awakens something deep within her that no one else can. There's a deep craving inside every woman that goes beyond the surface level. Most men think they need to chase after her, constantly prove their worth, or keep saying the right things to gain her affection. But this couldn't be further from the truth. What she's truly looking for isn't a man who's constantly seeking validation, but one who is comfortable in his own skin, who knows who he is, and doesn't need to seek permission or approval from anyone to be himself. This confidence and clarity are magnetic. You might be wondering, what does it really mean to be the man who awakens this fantasy? It's not about being perfect or doing things just right. It's about embracing your authenticity, about knowing that you don't need to chase after her affection, because it will come to you naturally when you embody these qualities. The more you settle into your power, the more you will become the kind of man who brings out the deepest desires in her. It's not the smooth talker, the one who wins her over with fancy words or gestures, that gets her attention in the long run. It's the man who can command respect without even trying, the one who leads with his energy and his quiet strength. When you stop trying to prove yourself and instead just be, that's when she'll start to respond in ways you never imagined. She'll see you not as someone she has to figure out, but as someone who is stable, trustworthy, and most importantly, secure in his own skin. This security gives her the space to feel safe, to let her guard down, and to open up to you in ways she doesn't with anyone else. She'll start to feel a magnetic pull toward you, a desire to be near you, to learn more about you, and to share in that connection you've unknowingly sparked in her. But let me be clear, this process doesn't involve forcing anything. It's about creating an energy that draws her in naturally, without manipulation or deception. When you're calm, emotionally controlled, and certain of your actions, you create an atmosphere that invites her to feel at ease, to feel like she can finally let go and surrender to something deeper than just a physical connection. And when that happens, the attraction becomes effortless. So, the next time you find yourself with her, remember this. Don't chase. Stop trying to win her approval or force things. Don't prove anything to her. Simply be yourself, with confidence and certainty. Let the power of your presence speak louder than any words ever could. Watch as she responds to you in ways that will surprise you. You won't have to do anything extra. Just be the man who has mastered his own emotions, his own presence, and his own path. And when you do that, she will feel drawn to you in a way that feels effortless and natural. But here's the thing. If you're truly serious about unlocking this level of attraction, about diving deeper into the psychology of attraction, and learning how to trigger this fantasy without coming off as creepy or fake, I've got something special for you. I'm offering a free ebook that dives even further into the deeper psychology behind attraction and reveals the exact steps you need to follow to make this all work. It's all laid out for you in simple, easy-to-understand terms. You don't need to guess or figure it out on your own anymore. Grab it now. The link is in the description or pinned in the comment section. This is your opportunity to take this to the next level and truly start mastering how to unlock attraction effortlessly. Thanks for watching and taking the time to learn with me. Let's keep growing, keep improving, and as always, stay grounded. Remember, the most powerful thing you can do is simply be yourself, with certainty and confidence. That's when you'll unlock the real power of attraction.